everybody, and welcome to Stable Connection. As always, my name is Dustin, and along with me is Trey, and we are sorry we were late recording this and getting this out. I have been sick. I've been dealing with all kind of allergies and probably upper respiratory infection and everything. So, apologies.
Listen, all that matters is we're here now.
Exactly.
It's late, but better late than never. Especially with this episode, because it's going to be a lot.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a longer episode than normal. There's quite a bit that we're going to be doing. And if you hear me sniffling in the background, I'm so sorry, guys. I really am. I can't help it.
Just get good.
Oh, yeah. But we will be recording twice this week. We're gonna be recording today, as this is Monday. It is Monday. And then we'll be recording again on Friday to get an episode out on Saturday.
The regularly scheduled program.
But like you all know, the YouTube comes out a little bit later than the original. So if you want to listen to the original, the first drop, you can listen to it anywhere you get podcasts. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify are three major ones that we are on. But let's get to this. Let's get to this episode. We went to the Rumble. I know this is late getting to, but we did go to the Rumble, and what a show it was.
First off, I want to ask, how was your trip? Because we had two very different experiences trip-wise.
So, we left on Friday at like 2. I think we wound up getting to our hotel at, I want to say around 5.
So it's 3 hours for y'all, right?
Yeah. Oh. With traffic and everything, it turned out to be about a 3-hour trip. We checked in and everything. Me and my girlfriend, we went walking around the river walk and stuff. We had ourselves a little day night. Saturday, we had the Rumble. Parking was that's all I'm gonna say. We could not find anywhere to park. When there was parking, it was $35-$50 per parking, and usually it was already taken. Yeah, it was an experience. I've been to a big city before. I've been to like New Orleans, and I've been to California and stuff like that, but like going to where there's a event is totally different.
A lot of people in a very, very small space compared
to New Orleans. When we went, we drove down. We walked about like maybe a quarter mile from the French Quarter where everything happens, and after that it was, I mean, easy. Like, we found parking.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've noticed at wrestling events is like, if you go outside of like a mile from the arena or stadium or whatever, there's usually parking, and it's usually pretty cheap. You just gotta find a way to get that extra mile. So it's kind of like 6 one way, half a dozen the other.
Yeah, dude, we were honestly considering just like parking like a mile and a half away and just walking.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it sucks, but like when I went to Mania, we were probably about half a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile. Me and Jacob were, and we just walked it. It was, I think I spent $60 in parking, like total over. Oh no, total for both.
Over the whole.
Yeah, I think we parked in the same place the second night. I think it was $25 or $30. So I got 2 nights of Mania and $60 total. Like, yeah. I'll walk the 3/4 of a mile for that.
Yeah, man. I mean, we went to the zoo and stuff like that. It was nice. San Antonio has a really nice zoo, honestly.
I'm so jealous.
You got the pictures, man.
I love the zoo. Any zoo, I don't care.
But going back to the Rumble, like those who listened to the podcast, the last episode, this was my first wrestling event, and man, it was so much fun. As much as I was cramped, I was still having so much fun. And my seats, yes, they were nosebleed seats, But dude, I got such good angles of everything. That howdy spot. We're not gonna call it what we want to call it because we're gonna
No,
catch
dude,
heat. We'll get to that in a minute.
we're just a bunch of podcasters with nosebleed seats that don't know what we're doing, according to one guy.
But man, it was. Now I had a girlfriend next to me that every time pyro went off, she freaked out. But
that's the thing about big events, especially like Mania. Mania's real bad about it, but I mean, fair. There's so much pyro.
But I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
Too, but it's amazing, honestly.
Dude, honestly, I watched the Rumble for the returns, right? But there was something about this Rumble that I just loved, and there was only like 2 returns, technically speaking, because we already knew Cody was going to be there.
Yeah.
You had Booker T, which was a huge pop,
and Edge.
And then I was gonna get to Edge. Edge, dude, I fangirled over Edge.
But Nia Jax.
We're not talking about that Rumble.
Oh, okay.
we're talking about the first match.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We're just not gonna mention that she came out like 15 seconds before the buzzer went off. It's fine.
Bro, because I pulled my phone out to start recording, right? When she came out. Or when it started with number, and dude, I thought we were on number 29. Just putting that out there. I think they completely skipped number 29.
I don't even know, man. I just, because you hear her music and you see her trons go off, and then it pops up 10. And everyone says 10, and then we're like, wait a minute. I literally looked at my dad as soon as it happened. I said, man, they even botched her return. Like.
It was so bad.
Like how?
And then she wouldn't take any spot from anybody, and so Rhea Ripley dropped her on her head.
Dude.
Okay, apparently Nikki Cross came in at 29. I don't remember that. I really don't.
The Women's Rumble was, and I've seen other people say this, so it's not just me being biased or whatever. It was boring.
It really was.
It was, and then I think Becky came in at 15, and like the crowd was lost. For one, they were burned out, which is the problem with the Rumble. Like, unless you have a big return, then the crowd gets burned out on the second one. And then Becky came in, and everyone just lit up.
Yeah, and then Becky got eliminated, and it was just boos in the entire arena, dude. And that was like Nia Jax. Like, as soon as Nia Jax's music hit, I heard one person scream for her, and it was the person next to me. Not my girlfriend, by the way. My girlfriend despises Nia Jax. But, yeah, it was the one girl next to me. She was like, what? Let's go, Nia! I was like, girl, are you serious right now? But other than that, the 2 most memorable spots in that entire match were Michelle McCool coming from the crowd.
Yeah. After she told everyone, "Oh, it's in my it's next door down the road, so I'll be there," but I didn't get asked. Like, red herring.
And then, Rhea Ripley grabbing Liv by her head and throwing her.
That was a fantastic finish. I liked the way the women's match ended with all 3 of them on the apron.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, hey, we're throwing you over, and then, oh, I might. No, it was like, hey, they're all there. They're all dangerously there. All 3 of them you could see winning. Like, it made sense.
And then Asuka debuting Kana.
Oh, yeah, that's.
I really think she should have gotten in the ring before she revealed herself. I think she should have gotten in the ring, went face to face with, like, Rhea, and then took the mask off.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm glad they didn't do it up at the beginning of that long-ass walk, though.
Yeah.
That walk is dumb.
That's true.
And that's the new thing with the Rumbles is they're doing them in like baseball stadiums or football stadiums, and it's like, oh, they have a 20-yard sprint to the ring. It's like, okay, well, they're here, and then by the time they're in the ring, it's the next person's already coming back out.
But so the first elimination of the men's Rumble was quick. Like, I think it was quick. It was Miz was the first one eliminated, right?
Yeah. I think he came in at 3 and got eliminated by like 4 or 5.
He was eliminated by Xavier Woods, who came in at number 6.
Okay, came in at 3 and he got eliminated at 6.
B-Fab came in and almost immediately got eliminated at like number 7.
Yeah, I don't.
And she was the first one eliminated.
I don't. I don't get Hit Row.
I don't get the fascination by them. They're.
Yeah.
I really hate to say this, but they're a dumbed down version of Crime Time.
I mean, difference is with them is they can actually somewhat do musical stuff. I think the best one in Hit Row is the one that gets talked about the least.
Yeah, Adonis.
Yeah, I don't get Dala, and I don't think Beef
Top Dollar just has Twitter fingers. I hate to say it, but he does.
Yeah, I don't get why everyone's fascinated with him unless they just like him because of his Twitter account. Which, if that's it, then by all means, like, it's interesting that he is always in some kind of, not trouble, but some kind of something, drama or whatever. But the one that's talked about the least is the one I like the most.
Yeah. And really and truly, if Isaiah Scott was still there, it may be different. Hit Row maybe talked a lot more. But
I didn't like him until he went to AEW and started doing what he's doing now. Yeah. And even then, I'm like, like, he's athletic, yeah, but it never clicked for me. I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen enough of them because I was the same way with Matt Riddle and a few other people, but it hasn't clicked yet for me, and it might not ever. I just don't think they're as good as, like, I don't think they were worth bringing back. Like, out of the budget cuts that H brought back, I don't think they were one of them that was worth it.
That's fair. We're going to go ahead and talk about Sami Zayn real quick. We're not going to go into full depth of what we want to talk about at this moment. We're going to wait till a little later on in the episode. Sami Zayn turning on Roman Reigns, I think, just had to happen.
Yeah.
As much as I love this storyline, as much as I love the honorary Uce thing, it just had to happen.
I think we all expected it to be Roman or Solo turning on Sami, so I think the fact that Sami did it and did it the same way the Shield did, I think that was a good, like, icing on the cake.
The people who still make fun of wrestling fans for, oh, you watch wrestling, it's fake. You have to look at this. It's entertainment. We watch, yes, for the wrestling. It's fun. Yes, we like it. But the stories that go with it. This Bloodline storyline is the epitome of good booking.
Long-term storytelling, too.
Yes. I don't think we've seen a good story like this in over a year.
I'd say, God, last one I can think of off the top of my head is the Shield.
Yeah.
Shield, coming in, debuting, and then Shield versus Authority, or, Shield versus Authority after Seth turned.
Yeah.
The Wyatt family, maybe.
But
I say even then it's not as big.
I will say
it was a lot of different branches, and it took a few years, but it wasn't like as polarizing.
I will say a really good story that I saw as a wrestling fan was 2013. I don't know if you were watching at this time.
I was not.
Mark Henry comes out and starts a retirement speech.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Dude, it was tear-jerking. And then he says, "Baby, I'm coming home." Or "Baby Daddy's coming home." And so Cena gives him his title. He raises the title up. Cena raises his hands up, goes to give him a hug, and then just world's strongest slam. Dude, it was at that moment. You just hated Mark Henry at that moment. Yeah. You're like, you mother. And it was, but that was a good story. Like, it should have wound up with Mark Henry winning the title.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to that Sami Zayn thing here in a minute. Here in a moment. We caught a lot of heat over this past couple weeks. We posted
tell
a
you
video.
what, I was entertained for about a week.
Yeah. We posted a video. I caught a very, very good angle of Uncle Howdy doing the twisting corkscrew elbow drop, whatever he was attempting. And LA Knight was a little to the right, or I guess a little to the left, whichever way you were looking. And I will say, I don't blame it 100% on Uncle Howdy. I really think that LA Knight was supposed to be more towards the middle.
See, if it's okay, so it's either Howdy's fault, it's LA Knight's fault, or it's the cameraman's fault.
It's 100% the cameraman.
Yes, but if it's LA's fault, it's not even LA's fault, it's Bray's fault. LA has no fault in that because he got placed down by Bray and then he just doesn't move. He's assuming
I think Bray was trying to tell him. I think Bray was trying to tell him move over.
But even still, that's Bray's fault for not placing him where he's supposed to be.
True. But he misses the elbow drop, which I understand. You're not trying to injure your opponent. You're trying to keep him safe. I understand. Do not blow up on us.
I just want to go on the record and say we understand. It's not a splash. It was not a crossbody. It was not a frog splash. It wasn't supposed to land on him. We understand.
It was an elbow drop.
You don't land on him in an elbow drop.
Make it look real. That's all we ask. Make it look believable. Yes, I was in a spot where no matter what he did, it was going to look bad. But on TV, unless he connected. Even on TV, it looked terrible.
So I will say, I was on the other end of the arena, which I was trying to tell people whenever they're commenting on TikTok, but apparently TikTok has a comment character cap. I didn't feel like commenting more than once, which is annoying, but anyway. I was on the other side of the arena. I could barely see because I had, I don't even know what it's called, but like all the screens and all the stuff above the ring to hold the lights and all that. Yeah. All that was in my way. So I had to watch it on the video board. The video board in the arena is the exact same feed that Peacock is seeing. So I saw it to where he jumped too far. So side to side doesn't. He could have been 6 feet to the side, as long as he is landing far enough or close enough to the platform. On TV, it's going to look fine because of that side camera. He jumped about 3 feet too high, which is how. Because as soon as he did it, I said, "Oh my God, he missed." And then the guy next to me was like, "Yeah, that wasn't even close." So yes, Dustin's angle shows just how much he missed by, but even on the live feed or the Peacock feed or the TV feed, whatever, that low camera angle, you can still tell he missed by like 3 feet.
Yeah.
Which I mean, like I said on TikTok, I get it. It's black light, low lights. If you can even see, he has a mask on. It's a 20-foot jump, but like. And we're not blaming him or faulting him for it or saying, "Oh my God, it was bad." It's just, it is what it is. He missed. It's just Shane O'Mac would have hit it. Shane O'Mac would have landed on that man. Let's be honest. But no, he missed. It is what it is. It's an angle that I have not seen an angle similar to that anywhere on any social media platform. So it's just an angle that we happen to get. A miss is a miss. So what?
So, that being said,
I couldn't do it any better, but I can still say, hey, he missed.
That being said, I have been seeing a lot of comments and a lot of the TikToks about Bray Wyatt. Is this character becoming too boring? What do you think?
I say no, but a lot of people want that instant gratification of Bray Wyatt's gonna come back and just go ape shit on everybody. Like that's not how he is. That's not how he's ever been. He's not Kane. He's not Undertaker. He's not, you know, I don't even Big Show. Like they did that because they were bigger. He's not that dude. He's never been that guy. He tells stories with between promos and videos and during the matches. I will say live the lights out match it was cool, but it was kind
It
of
was. I'll be honest, man. To me, it was a snooze fest.
yeah. I mean, like I enjoyed it because it was something different and it was cool and it was way better than I thought it was going to be.
It was a bathroom break to me.
But it comes it comes through so much better on TV. Like I went back and rewatched it like the next day after I got home. It's so much better. It's so much of a TV match, not a in-person match, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's just everyone was in awe. You know, first off, we didn't know what to expect. Second off, we were in awe of like, oh my god, this is something different. It's cool. It's better, worse, whatever than we expected. But it was just a slow, methodical match, which is fine.
It's like watching a cinematic match on TV.
Yeah.
Versus it's like watching that AJ versus Undertaker match on TV. Amazing match.
Without sound. It's like watching it without sound, honestly.
There you go.
Because you don't have the commentary, you don't have any of that. Like the crowd was not dead. We were more, at least my section was. We were in awe of what's happening.
Yeah.
So there's also that too. But on TV, it came across like phenomenal. But Bray's he's a long-term storytelling guy, and people don't have the patience for that. I mean, people were saying the same thing about Roman. It was like, oh my god, he's this, and that. Well, but people still say that about the Roman, the bloodline. Like this thing's what 3 years in the making now.
I will say, I was one of those people that was Roman is a terrible wrestler. He's terrible on the mic, this and that.
Yeah, and then
Roman has
the same story over 3 years, and it's the best story going on in wrestling now. And it's about to have one of, if not the biggest payoffs in recent memory, if not ever.
Ever since Roman came back from leukemia, his leukemia battle, he has become such a phenomenal wrestler. Yes, he has a basic moveset. Yes, I understand.
That's all you need.
He's a big dude. It's like John Cena.
That's a big freaking dude too.
Why would John Cena want to do hurricanranas off the top rope? Yes, he can do it. I've seen him do it. But why would he want to?
He don't need to.
He has a 5-knuckle shuffle. He has the STF and an attitude adjustment.
And he's got
occasionally
shoulder block.
Occasionally he drops a leg drop off the top rope if he's feeling froggy. And then he has the lightning fist. Just for giggles.
Yeah. Well, everyone said he's only got 5 moves, so he added his 6th.
Yeah. But if you really look at it, people are always saying, "Oh, Chris Jericho is a great wrestler." He has a basic moveset. Does he not?
Oh, he does. He's always been over because of his character. I mean, he can go technical matches, if he needs to, but he doesn't have to anymore. He used to be able to go. He used to go high flying to technical to whatever, but now he doesn't have to, and people still say he's one of the best.
Exactly.
If you really look at it, any main guy, like any figurehead of any company, especially WWE, they've always had basic movesets. They're just larger than life characters. The Rock, basic moveset. Roman, basic. Cena, basic. Hogan, basic. Flair, basic.
Yep.
They get over with their character work, and they become larger than life. Batista, basic. Any movie star that's gone from wrestling to the movies, basic. Triple H, basic. It's their movesets aren't crazy. but they don't have to be because their characters, like, you see them and you're like, oh my god, like, that's John Cena, or oh my god, that's The Rock.
And then you have these guys like Ricochet, who has every move in the book, but people don't want to get him over. Like, you cannot please wrestling fans. I'm sorry, but you cannot.
No, you can't. You can't please everybody. You know, there's wrestling fans, life, basketball fans. I mean, for instance, I don't know. I don't think you follow basketball, but the Dallas Mavericks just got Kyrie Irving,
I
official
I
as
heard,
of today. So
and everybody saying he's a cancer and
yeah,
this and
it's
that.
he's
But
top
he's a
five
he's a
player in the world. But some people are like, "Oh my god, on court, amazing," and the other people are like, "Oh my god, now we have to deal with all of the sideshow that comes with it." And it's like, okay, we have Luka, who I think is the best player in the world right now, and then top 5, top 10 player in Kyrie Irving. Like, we finally have another superstar with Luka. It's the same with wrestling. You can't have a guy that can go a 60-minute technical masterclass or a super high flying lucha show and then have a larger, like, you can, but
yeah.
it's very, very hard, and people are going to be upset with something else about them. So it's just, there's no pleasing people 100% in anything.
Yep.
So Bray's good at the stories, and that's what he's good at, and that's what he's there for.
I really think if you're gonna have a Bray Wyatt match, it needs to be a cinematic match. I hate to say it, but it needs to be.
I mean,
Especially
yeah,
with
that's fair.
especially with these characters he has. If he's bringing the Firefly Funhouse characters to life, it needs to be cinematic.
Let me add I guess, like, a stipulation to that. I feel like if he has a gimmick match,
Yes.
he can go one-on-one in a regular match and still do the characters that appear. But I feel like if you have a gimmick match like the Pitch Black or the Firefly Funhouse or whatever him and Randy Orton did, if it's a gimmick match, it should be, if not fully cinematic, at least like what I was saying with the Pitch Black, where it's half cinematic and then they come fight in the arena, or they start off in the arena and then go backstage and then whatever. Like, it should be at least partly cinematic because you can play with it more. It's like Undertaker back in the 80s, or not the 80s, but the 90s and the 2000s. Whenever you're watching on TV, he's got the lightning and all this. Like, they don't have lightning in the freaking arena. Like, they didn't even have fireworks that simulated it, but you see the lightning on TV and you're like, oh my god, he's summoning lightning. It's Bray's kind of the same thing. It's like, oh my god, he's doing this, but you can hide it more with technology than trying to do it in person, and it gives you that more supernatural, mystic kind of feel.
It was like Broken Matt Hardy. It was always gimmick matches.
Oh yeah, but they did it to where they hit it well enough.
Yep.
Or if it was a gimmick match that they didn't have to do anything cinematic with, it was like a TLC match with him, telling Jeff, "Oh, don't be a spot monkey, don't jump," and then he listens because he's like under his control.
Yeah.
Like, they hit it well. So if you're gonna do it, just hide it or make it at least half cinematic. Speaking of gimmick matches, name one gimmick match, or any gimmick match, any number of gimmick matches that are not as popular, but as, I guess, as big as the Royal Rumble, or that worked as well as the Royal Rumble does.
So basically, like a stipulation match.
Yeah. So any, like, I guess, like a tier list. Like, if you had to tier all the gimmick matches, Royal Rumble is number 1.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's S tier. Name another one that could go up there with it.
Elimination Chamber.
You think so?
I think so. I think before. Okay, so let me backtrack. Before they made Elimination Chamber a pay-per-view.
Okay.
When it was on No Way Out and Survivor Series and stuff like that, 100%. Same thing with Money in the Bank. When it was a WrestleMania match, Money in the Bank all day.
See, those are the two that I kind of like them having their own pay-per-views. I don't think they should be named Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But I think they should have their own themed pay-per-views. Like No Way Out, you have it the Elimination Chamber. There's No Way Out of the Elimination Chamber.
In the way, No Way Out should be so like Hell in a Cell. I do not think it should have its own pay per view.
No.
I think honestly, No Way Out should be steel cage matches, a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
But it would be hard because they can't put all that together.
Yeah.
They can't raise a steel cage, lower it, put a elimination chamber up there, and
yeah. Well, you can have the chamber up there, or the Hell in a Cell up there, and then manually put up the steel cage like they used to.
Yeah.
But no, I don't remember who tweeted it, but somebody tweeted like name a match that's as successful as the Royal Rumble, a gimmick match as successful as the Royal Rumble, and like there's really not one.
No, there's not. In all actuality, there isn't. I will say one of my not all time, a pay per view I really miss is Breaking Point.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you could have done so much. Yeah, I was like, I feel like you could have done so much with that, and they just never did.
The I Quit match between Randy Orton and John Cena, one of the best I Quit matches of all time.
Well, they could have done like an I Quit match or submission matches, just stuff like that, to where you have to hit your breaking point. Honest to God, I miss bragging rights.
Yeah, and then they turned Survivor Series into bragging rights.
That's why I miss it, because Survivor Series, and now that it's War Games, it's a little bit different. But Survivor Series used to be, oh, I got these friends and I've got these friends and we're gonna fight each other, Yeah. And now, not anymore. But it was brand supremacy, and it's like, bro, you had a whole pay-per-view for that and you got rid of it.
Yeah.
But no, back to Elimination Chamber. While I'm thinking about it, I like it being post Rumble and pre Mania, because it's they're doing it different this year, which I love, by the way. But it was the champion's last test before Mania, so it's like, do you deserve to be like the Royal Rumble winner earned his shot at headlining WrestleMania because he won the Rumble 30 men, So then you put the champion, like, do you deserve to headline WrestleMania too? Or, you had that one final test for the champ, like you had that one test for the other guy that's headlining. So I like it being right there, personally. And then, of course, Money in the Bank. I think the idea is amazing. I love Money in the Bank. So if I had to pick one or two, it would be one of those two that were as successful, but there's not one that's been as successful as a Rumble, and I don't think there ever will be.
I will say, WrestleMania is not my top 3 pay-per-views. Really?
See, I like it just because it's, it's the big, larger than life.
I prefer spectacle. The Monday after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I like WrestleMania.
I feel like those have been lacking in the last few years.
They definitely have. It's because who are they gonna bring back?
Yeah.
They literally brought back everybody this year.
Yeah.
So who else do they have to bring back that's contracts are expiring? I mean, they have Brian Cage, who said that he's coming, or that he was thinking about it.
My thing is, I don't care what you say or what anybody says. Everybody's always thinking about going to WWE.
Oh yeah, it's like MJF said, you go where the money is.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's very
WWE
few people
has the money.
Yeah, there's very few people that are not, I guess, likely to go. But everybody's considering it. Every time Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, for God's sake, started AEW, and when their contracts are out, they're going to at least consider WWE. It might be for a day or two, but they're going to consider it.
So, who'd have thought in a million years that Cody Rhodes would have came back to WWE?
Oh, I knew it the whole time.
You did?
I didn't. To be fair, I didn't think it was going to be so soon.
I was about to say 2 years into AEW. Did you think that
I thought he'd go there for at least like 5 years.
I thought he was going to at least win the AEW title before.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be so soon, but I knew once he left, he was coming back. I mean, it's just, that'd be like Randy Orton and John Cena leaving. Like, they're going to come back. It's just, him and his family mean too much to WWE, and there's too much history there that there's no chance he wasn't coming back. I just didn't think he was gonna come back.
I think
First time his contract expired.
I think his stipulation with coming back had to have been that he had to be in the main event scene at least a little bit.
At the same time, I don't think he had to say, "Hey, I'm gonna be there," because he went to tickets.
He went to the indie scene and just reinvented himself.
Yeah, I mean, he straight up told Vince whenever he got hired. I saw this or read it, or I don't remember if I read it or if I saw him talking about it, but he straight up told him, he's like, "Hey, if I'm doing this, I'm coming back as the American Nightmare." He's like, "I'm not doing Stardust. I'm not doing Dashing. I'm not, being." And
you're gonna buy the rights to Kingdom.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna do what I've been doing, and I'm gonna be the American Nightmare. And Vince was like, "Good, because that's exactly what what we want to bring you back for."
Like, I think he basically told Vince, if you try to bring Stardust to me, I'm gonna tell you, fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, he laid out. He's like, "I'll come back. Like, I want to come back, but I'm not. I'm doing it my way." And Vince is like, "Good. That's exactly the way we want to do it, your way." And he's like, "All right, cool."
So I didn't plan on having a question.
Okay.
About like I plan on having a question later on, but I didn't plan on it like right here. Do you think CM Punk comes back?
Comes back to WWE? No.
Yes. No?
No.
You don't think Triple H will try to squeeze him in?
He'll try, but he won't. Unless it... Well, okay. Never say never, obviously. I don't think it'll be anytime soon.
I think if he does, he definitely has to feud with Seth Rollins after Seth Rollins' comments.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be anytime soon. If he goes anywhere, the money feud is in AEW if he ever comes back. I mean, it writes itself. It's
yeah,
but it also is relying on FTR not leaving because they got 3, the Punk's 1. Like, who else would you pair with him to even up except for the guys that he got real close with and was teaming with right before everything happened?
And is it Dax is the
bald one?
Dax is Scott Dawson, right?
Yes.
Okay. He even said that he misses CM Punk.
Oh yeah.
He straight up said
it as well.
Yeah. We'll talk about Jade a whole nother time. I'm about tired with her and her 50-0. I'm tired of hearing it. But we're gonna move away from this subject. We're gonna take this and put it over here, okay? Vengeance Day was or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I was honestly surprised. I wasn't planning on watching it. I was just laying in bed. I was like, yeah, why not? Right? That first match, Wesley and Dijak, holy cow.
See, I didn't watch it. So this is, I've seen stuff. It was different things and what you've told me.
It was a spot match. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You had Wesley jumping on like he usually does, and you have Dijak springboarding across the ring.
Yeah.
There was a spot, dude. There were so many spots I thought that it was gonna be done. Dijak hit Wesley with a spinning boot, and good lord, he almost took his damn head off. And then Dijak lifts Wesley up on the turnbuckle. He's on the top rope, about to go for a damn power bomb, and Wesley does a hurricanrana, and I'm pretty sure that's where Dijak broke his finger, because his finger was like this, sideways. I can't even do it, but it was over here.
I definitely saw. I saw the X-ray for it too. The X-ray is pretty gnarly.
I texted you right after it happened. I was like,
you showed me. You showed me, and then I opened up Twitter, and it's all over Twitter. I'm like, oh, that's what he meant. That's disgusting. Yeah, that's fine.
Dude, and they got a close up of it too. I don't know, if they were meaning to, but I think the cameraman was like, "Oh man," and his fingers way over here.
Oh, I can't.
Wait.
Nope.
The both tag team titles changed hands, which both of them surprised me. I really didn't think the New Day was going to lose. I thought they were going to hang on to him. But during that watching that match, I thought Chase U was going to have it for sure.
See, I was wondering if they. I mean, I kind of know why they made New Day transitional champs. Like, Pretty Deadly realistically has no chance against Gallus 1-on-1.
I think Pretty Deadly is going to come to the main roster.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think their first feud is going to be the New Day.
Maybe, but like, they don't want to. They have a lot of momentum because their character work gets over.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want them to get, I guess, wrecked. Not buried, but
How can you make them look strong without?
Yeah, and it's like realistically, in a realistic 2-on-2 fight, Gallus is gonna destroy them.
Oh yeah.
So you don't want that to happen to the guys that you want to keep strong. So then you have a team like the New Day, like probably the greatest tag team of all time, honestly, or the greatest trio at least. You have one of them come in and win it, like, okay, cool, they beat the New Day. The New Day hasn't held those belts before, so it's kind of a win-win. And then you're like, okay, how do we get it off of New Day into who we actually want it to be, which is Gallus? It's like, well, once again, Gallus is going to beat them, especially without Big E. Like, there's no size. So it's like, okay, how do we keep? You don't have to keep New Day strong. New Day is New Day. But
yeah,
still,
New Day's strong either way.
Yeah, but still, like, how do we boost everybody all at once? And it's okay. Fatal 4-way tag team match. Just a bunch of people. Pin can happen any direction from any time. I don't even know who took the pin. Do you know?
New Day did.
Okay, but like, I didn't even.
I am almost positive New Day took it.
So that's New Day giving Gallus the rub and putting them over when they get rid of the belts. But then it elevates the Chase U team. It keeps Pretty Deadly strong to where they're still around the title picture and they're not getting smashed by Gallus, and it gives the belts to who they want to in Gallus. So that's got to be the only reason that they gave New Day the belt for like a month.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that New Day took the.
Yeah, it makes sense because they're trying to.
But dude,
all the NXT teams are trying to be elevated, so it's like, who's it not going to hurt at all? New Day.
Chase U gained so much momentum in that match. Like, I legitimately was like, "Holy cow, is Andre Chase about to pick up the win?"
Yeah, that's something interesting too. Like, in and of itself, like that's something that I mean, God, last one I can think of is I don't remember what they were called, but it was Lanny Poffo.
Are you talking about the guy that just passed away?
Yes, he was the genius, and he had these like scholarly.
Oh my God, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but that's the last time I can think of anything that's even remotely college related or higher education related, or something different. It may not be new because nothing's new, but it's different, and it's something that hasn't been seen in a long time. So I kind of dig the Chase U thing, and they're actually having it to where they quote unquote go to Chase U, and then there's a whole student section in the crowd. I'm like,
yeah,
they're doing that very well.
And then there was Apollo Crews versus Carmelo, best 2 out of 3 falls match. Carmelo swept Apollo, which
I didn't even know that.
Yes, he swept him.
That's good, though.
Once again, I was very surprised. Then you had Dabakato. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Dabakato, but close enough.
Dabakato.
Yeah.
Show up, try to interfere. I think he took down Trick, hit him with a move or so, and then that caused a distraction for Carmelo. And then after that, Daba came into the ring, put his arm around Apollo. They hugged, raised his hand, and then chokeslammed him. Boom.
I like that he came back as Dabakato and not Commander Aziz.
Same. I'm glad they didn't say Commander Aziz.
Yeah. Like they recognized that there was history between them and they were friends once upon a time, but then they were like, okay, this is not him anymore.
Once again, great match. Carmelo made Apollo tap out with the first fall.
Oh, nice.
It made him tap out with a crossface.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Carmelo's gonna be a big star, man. Like
he is.
I really and truly hope he joins the Hurt Business. Like he joins a renewed Hurt Business. I don't think it's gonna happen, but one can hope.
I feel like he doesn't need it because, like,
he doesn't.
If you really think about it, the reason the Hurt Business is together is because it's a bunch of like-minded people that need a mouthpiece and MVP. Carmelo does not need anybody to talk for.
Sure. He doesn't need Trick Williams either. I
kind of like him having Trick. As Trick's like the like when in high school and it's like the one popular kid, and you always have like that one kid that's not really the popular kid, but
your hype man.
Yeah, it's like the yes man.
Yeah,
it's who Vince surrounds himself with, but that's a different story.
See, Carmelo is making friends. He's also making enemies.
Yeah.
He made an enemy out of Carmella.
What did he do?
Yeah. Apparently, "Mellow is money" is catchphrase that was stolen from Carmella. As you know, Bella is money.
But she's been gone for 6 months.
Yeah,
I don't actually know how long it's been, and like the reason she was going is a valid reason, but like, how you gonna?
I was just gonna say I wouldn't really bring that up because
no, it's a valid reason, but like, how are you gonna come back and immediately start complaining that a dude that's getting over, like, you know what I mean?
No, I understand.
Like, he's getting over, and he is like, he's money, he makes money, he's good, he's charismatic, he's gonna be a huge star. Y'all have damn near the same name. Like, it's just he said it the same reason you said it. It starts with the same letter. It goes together. Like, it's easy to say. Like,
I almost said Carmella a lot of those times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's an O and an A is the only difference. Like, don't complain about that. Complain about anything else, but don't come back. What, she come back like 2 weeks ago or a week ago?
Something like that.
Don't come back 2 weeks later and then complain about the dude that's been borderline carrying NXT for the last year.
By the way, I think Carmelo and Braun Breaker is gonna tear the house down.
Oh, 100%. I think that's I think that's what's preventing Carmelo from being pulled up, is he's going to be the one to take the belt off of Breaker, and then Breaker's going up. And then once he loses the belt to whoever, that's when he'll go up. Because he's still extremely young.
Oh, yeah. He's in his like early 20s, pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up to be sure, but I want to, off the top of my head, I'm going to guess 24. He is 28.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but even still, wrestling-wise, that's
still in his prime.
Young, yeah. So.
But overall, Vengeance Day was a pretty decent pay-per-view for NXT. Once again, it's not black and gold anymore, so it's not like tearing the house down. Pay-per-views, Triple H isn't running it. Shawn Michaels, I think, is doing a great job with NXT.
Oh, yeah. Black and Gold was also lightning in a bottle, honestly.
Yeah.
It lasted for a few years, but like they had magic and they ran with it until it ran its course.
Some multiple news sites report that Dragon Lee was supposed to be at Vengeance Day, was supposed to debut in some capacity, but he is having visa issues.
My question with that is, where do you put him in at, or like how do you debut him? Unless it's a video package, but if it's a video package, like you could have done that anyway. Unless you just do the he's in the crowd thing, and then it's like, are you really missing anything that he has a visa issue that you can't do any other time?
So, I think if they were to debut him at Vengeance Day, it would have had to been Granted, Dijak broke his finger, so it probably didn't happen. But I think Dijak attacks Wesley, and Dragon Lee comes out and tries to make the save.
That's the only time I can think of because he doesn't have a tag partner. He's not going to be thrust right into the NXT title scene.
He could be teamed up with a kid. I don't remember. Axiom.
I mean, maybe.
But
I feel like they would have just done this like Samojo or Drew McIntyre. Like, oh, guess who's in the crowd? It's Drew McIntyre. Like, oh, it's Dragon Lee, and it's like, okay, why can't you just do that on any other weekly show?
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I'm not sure where he fits in as of yet, but going to Monday Night Raw. We're not gonna go over all Monday Night Raw, but there was reports earlier in the week. We were gonna report this earlier in the week when we were planning on recording, but JBL and Corbin were scheduled to break up, in which they did. JBL told him backstage, "You are a clown. You do not belong near me. You cannot polish a turd."
I don't know if I love or hate JBL.
Character work, I think JBL is great.
It's just some
commentary
stuff that he says and comes up with. I'm like, bro, where did you hear that? Where did you come up with that?
Yeah. But dude, I think King Corbin was honestly Corbin's best gimmick.
See, I don't know. I think it's bum ass Corbin.
That's funniest gimmick though.
He did it so good though, and it was.
But he's such a good heel. Like, tell me another heel that has been hated so much in the past 2 years, 3 years. WWE.
Roman.
But people cheer Roman.
Not at the Rumble, they weren't.
Yeah, not at the Rumble. They were saying some choice words, but they cheer the bloodline, so they're cheering Roman.
Yeah, I don't know. I just see some people like I enjoy Baron Corbin. I always really have. I've always kind of liked him. Enjoyed his heel work. But there's some people that like legitimately cannot stand him. So there's that fine line between go away heat and getting good heat.
Yeah.
So he toes that line sometimes a little too much, where people are like, bro, I can't stand him.
But that is a heel's job, is it not?
Yes, but there's also a fine line. Like, you don't want people to. You want people to want to see you be beat. You don't want people to change the channel whenever you come on TV.
Sure.
A lot of people, at least online, I don't know how true it is because it's online. A lot of times people just say stuff to be edgy. But the people that don't like him online all say that they change the channel whenever he comes on. So, like, there's that fine line of, hey, I want to, like, everyone wants to see Roman get beat. That's good heel work. And a lot of other people, nobody turns the channel whenever Roman comes on.
Sure.
So there's that fine line.
No. Nobody changed the channel when Roman got speared either.
That was such a good spear too.
It was. I will say, that's one of the best spears I've seen. Honestly,
especially from somebody that doesn't give it.
Yes, exactly. From someone who that move is not in their arsenal. He damn near perfected that.
Yeah, I would never do it again.
Yeah, because people are gonna be wanting it.
I would never do it again because that one was so good that I don't want to do it again and mess it up. Like, that was such a good moment and such a good spear that it's like you don't really want to have a worse one.
So, I know we say we're gonna fantasy book in a couple weeks whenever we get closer to Elimination Chamber. I want your serious thoughts. What is gonna happen to Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber?
He's going to get beat. There's going to be interference because it's not in a title. It was just 1-on-1 as far as I know. It's not like no DQ. There's no stipulation to it. Yeah, at least. He's gonna get. There's gonna be some interference. It might be Jay. It might be Jimmy. They have DWIs or DUIs, so they have little.
Yeah, they have to get.
Getting into Kenneth. Yeah.
They have to get special clearance.
Yeah, but Solo doesn't. So.
Yes. True.
It might be one of the Usos, and it might be Solo, but somehow, some way, Sammy's getting screwed. Roman's gonna beat him. They're gonna beat him down, and then KO's making the save.
So, I actually saw something online, and it made a good point. You can do a backstage segment with Jimmy and Jay and pre-record it with them beating up Kevin Owens backstage.
See, I think with it being in their hometown, we won't see KO until then. Because last time we saw him, he was handcuffed to the ropes at Rumble.
And we haven't seen him since.
Yeah, and we won't see him until after the Elimination Chamber, or after their match at Elimination Chamber. Sammy will get screwed. They'll start whatever members of the Bloodline are there. It might just be Solo and Roman, but they're going to be beating him down, and then KO's music's going to hit to the big Montreal pop, and then he's going to make the save. And that will set up. Hopefully, it's both of the Usos, and that will set up them tag titles at Mania. That's my prediction / ideal situation.
Okay. So switching over to Mania. There have been reports that there may be, if fans go crazy like they did with Daniel Bryan, WWE could change plans. Put Sami Zayn in a triple threat in the main event.
They won't do
it. I know, but how? I don't want Sami to win the title like that. I think Sami should win a title, but he shouldn't take Cody's spotlight.
See, the problem is Cody Rhodes sells. I don't remember. I want to say it was Sean Ross that explained it the best. But so first off, the reason they announced Cody coming back is tickets were selling like crap for the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like half full or maybe 3/4 full, if that.
For the Rumble?
Yeah. Yeah, they announced Cody was coming back and completely sold out.
Oh, I thought you were saying just like
No. Before they announced Cody, then once they announced Cody was for sure going to be in the Rumble, sold out. He moves tickets. No matter what anybody wants to say, he sells tickets. Who's a bigger star than Roman in WWE right now?
Cody.
Who else?
John Cena, The Rock.
Full time. Like,
nobody.
Exactly. So who? I mean, you can't have this 3-year long just heel tear to where he's the biggest star in the company, and then have
him lose to Sami Zayn.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's and like I said, Sami Zayn doesn't move. Yes, the storyline ideally, you want him to defeat the big bad bully, but they're trying to make a sell right now. So you don't want to go from Roman and then, as much as, people may hate to hear it, downgrade to Sami Zayn whenever you're trying to make a sell. You want to go to the guy that moves the most merch, that has the most eyes on the product, that's the biggest name, and it's Cody Rhodes. It just so happens that the storyline also fits with him getting hurt and then coming back at Rumble, winning it. It just, you have to give it to Cody. Nobody else can. If you put Sami Zayn in there, it's just going to make everybody more mad because he's just going to get demolished early, and then it's just going to be Roman and Cody anyway. And then we go, why waste Sami Zayn in that spot? Like, it's because y'all were complaining about it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. It has to be Cody. There's nobody else. The only other people would be The Rock and Cena, and as much as I hate it, I don't think Cena's breaking Flair. And The Rock's schedule does not allow him to be a champion. He can come back for a one-on-one match with Roman and, the family rivalry and tearing the house down, and it's, big marquee matchup. His schedule doesn't allow him to be a champion.
I really wish Cena would break that record.
I wanted to. but he won't. As much as I hate it, I don't think he will.
Well, this episode wasn't as long as I thought it was gonna be. We're actually right on schedule. There hasn't really been a whole lot of news going on this week, so I'm glad this is the week that I got sick and
we're not missing anything.
I will say, our thoughts and prayers are with Laney and his family. That I know that hit it hard with a bunch of wrestling fans,
especially the older school ones.
Yep. But I really didn't grow up watching him, so I don't have a whole lot to say on that.
Yeah.
Besides, like I said, our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family.
He's definitely one I always knew of, but didn't know.
See, I didn't know his name. I knew his face.
That's fair. I was the other way. I knew his name and not his face.
This death didn't hit as hard as Jay Briscoe's did with us. I know that's kind of a thing to say, but at the same time, I didn't grow up watching him. I did watch the Briscoes wrestle a lot within Impact and stuff like that. So, but I hate to end on a sad note like that. So, what do we got for on this day? So last week birthdays. Starting from the 29th, we had Hardcore Holly. The 30th was Giant Gonzalez, Becky Lynch, Rockstar Spud. The 31st, we got Dave Finlay. February 1st, we have Ronda Rousey.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
February 2nd, we actually got quite a bit, or a couple. We have old Teddy Hart. Probably one of the most controversial people that never made it to WWE. Brian Cage, Isla Dawn. February 3rd, we have Haku, Marty Jannetty, Kerry Von Erich, Devin Taylor. February 4th, we have Chris Sabin, Damian Priest. And
I think I saw Damian Priest be announced somewhere or posted on online.
And then the 5th, we have Madison Rain. And then today's birthday is Connor.
Ascension Connor?
Yeah.
Okay. He's in TNA right now, yeah?
Yeah.
As Big Con, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, we got a few for February 1st. This is apparently a very slow week. I guess with it being the week after Rumble, normally, or one of the few weeks after Rumble, there's never really anything crazy.
True.
So February 1st in 1993, the narcissist Lex Luger made his in-ring debut for the WWE. And Brutus the Barber Beefcake made his first appearance in over 2 years.
Okay.
And then in 2017, at an NXT TV taping, Tyler Bate made his first defense of the WWE UK Championship against Trent Seven.
Huh.
Which I personally enjoyed both of them. So I remember them. God, was it TakeOver Chicago maybe? No, that was Pete Dunne. It was Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, I think, at Chicago. That was one of my favorite matches ever.
That was probably one of the best matches in the past years.
Something about TakeOver in Chicago and NXT, like, they put on some damn good matches.
Oh yeah. So I will say, I'm going to say this on the podcast. I will not be recording this part because this is going to be a TikTok and a video only thing.
We didn't even go over that.
Oh, yeah. Well,
because we haven't recorded since, because somebody got sick.
Yeah. So if you're watching the video, have to chug a bottle of Sprite without burping. So the reason behind this is because I lost the prediction bet. I don't know how, but I did.
So, quick rundown. Jacob got the Women's Rumble, the X Factor, the Men's Rumble, and then all 3 matches. So he had 7 points. The only guess he got wrong was Sami Zayn as his X Factor for the men's. Excuse me. I had the Women's Rumble, the X Factor, the Men's Rumble, Bray Wyatt, and Roman Reigns. So I missed my X Factor and my Bianca and Alexa match. I will have it be known that if I would have just went with y'all's guesses too, I would have won, but we don't have to talk about that. And then you had Women's Rumble, Men's Rumble, and then all 3 matches. So I had 6, and you had 5 because you missed both X Factors, and I hit 1.
I just want to let it be known. I had Beth Phoenix right, just the wrong Rumble.
Yeah, that's true. It was the wrong Rumble. That's very fair. Honestly, if you would have gotten Beth Phoenix in the Men's Rumble, I would have given you like 5 points. Like, straight up, I'd be like, no, you win. I don't care. That's top tier. But so at first we thought we tied.